What's going on, guys? Rishima, Tim, aka Static Boards, here with another video. I've had quite a few people ask me about modeling, some ideas, some help. A lot of people aren't sure. They model stuff, it comes out really bad, they put it in game, and they don't like it. And I definitely understand that. I went through a ton of trial and error. When it comes to modeling, it sucks to say, but a lot of it is going to be creativity. There's not much you can do about it if you're not a creative person. It's going to be hard. What you're going to need to do is pretty much sit there and study, look at skate parks, look at street plazas, look at how stuff's made, stuff like that. When you get a better concept for how the world is actually put together around you, it'll give you a better concept of how to make stuff. One of the easiest ways to make stuff is to grab a picture off of Google and to use it as a reference image. One way you can do that is, let's just say, a door. Let's just grab a random door here, put it on our desktop. I need a JPEG. Put it on my desktop real quick. Okay, so say you want to put the door in here so you can work on it. One of the ways you can do that is Shift A. When you bring this menu up, a lot of the time you're going to spend in mesh. This is where you're going to do a lot of your modeling stuff, is in the mesh. Curving is when you get more into rails, bevels, stuff like that. Text is pretty cool. As you write a text, make it 3D, you can really work with it. Armature is going to be more for when you're setting up like rigging on bodies to make like NPCs move, stuff like that. Lighting I would never worry about too much in Blender, just because the lighting in Blender, once you set it and then you take your project to Unity, it gets kind of wonky. I don't know why Unity lighting, even if you take your lights out of Unity, it just doesn't look like it did in Blender. So I always try to do my lighting in Unity, and I don't really mess with this in Blender. You can put like a sun and light your whole park up and get a really nice 3D rendered picture, like up here rendering, and like you can put a camera in and make a really nice picture of your park, better than you can in Unity or anything else, but that's about all you would use the light for. But in our case, we're going to go to image, and you have reference and background. When you do reference and you bring in the image you have, it's going to be, oh, I'm sorry, delete that. When you bring in the reference image you want, you're going to want to go into top view first, just so you can have a flat image of it, and then bring it in. Go to reference, door. So now I'm just showing you this for reference here. So now if you wanted to, say, model the door, you could sit here and make a plane and basically model the door. You could even go as far as to making it, wireframe, so you can see what you're doing here, and you can sit here and model. This is how you do any kind of modeling at all, honestly, when you're trying to model stuff. Is you sit here, use a reference image, you make, Control R to make loop cuts. You make loop cuts, and you make your stuff. That was a bad lookup, my bad. But anyways, so that's how you would model something like this, and then you could just, after you have it modeled, obviously it's just a plane, but you can click that plane and extrude it. Why is it? Okay. You can click that plane and extrude it out. Why can't I extrude this right here? Oh, I'm not in edit mode. What the heck? Alright, you can extrude it out and make it, physical. Come back and then cut out your, make a loop cut, cut out your cutouts, cut out your handles. You can do all that. Another thing is the knife tool. This is actually a tricky tool to get down, but if you push K, it'll bring up the knife tool. The knife tool, so remember, this is just a plane. What it does is you can cut into your plane. So say you want to, you can get pretty precise with it too, if you get good with it. I'm just going to do it really quickly. It's not going to look that great. But you can cut it out and then hit, when you're done, enter. So now it made a geometry on it. So instead of having just your, you know, your plane, it actually made your handle. So now you can click it, extrude it out, and then once you texture it, oh, what's going on here? Oh, there. Once you texture it, you know, you'll have your actual handle. Like you can extrude it out more if you want, delete the bottom part of it to give it the gap between the handle and the door. That's kind of stuff that you're gonna have to just figure out and get creative with. It's not something other people are gonna be able to really figure it out for. I mean, once you do the handle, you could just leave it at, say, that kind of looks like I'm not gonna say it, but you could just leave it at that, or you could, you know, throw a loop cut in here, get rid of these faces. This is where your creativity is going to really come into play, you know. Take these, make that face back, take those, make that face back, and then if you want to get in there, you could always, you know, alt click that, face that, and now you have an actual handle that's off of the door. See what I'm saying? So when you texture it, it'll look realistic. So instead of just slapping like an image texture like this on a square, like you could just, you know, slap this right on top. There you go. But instead, if you see, we're actually building the door, and like you're gonna have a way better look and effect if you take the time to model out your doors, model out each thing. I don't. And if you've noticed on my maps, a lot of stuff looks blocky, janky. That's because I don't take the time to model. Like, I wouldn't even leave this like this. I would definitely, you know, maybe click like that top part and bevel it. Kind of give it some more shape to it. Bevel this side back up like that maybe. Give it more of a rounded shape. Smooth it, you know what I mean? There's a lot you can do if you just take the time. Like right now you think, okay, I'm done. No, you can do more. If you just take the time to really get in there and think about what you want the final look to look like, you can do a lot. So now you see it and you're like, oh, I have messed up plane. It's not bad. I mean, you can click the plane, delete it, delete the issues that you have here, and then redo it. I mean, it's not rocket science to fix stuff. It seems in the beginning when you start like, oh man, I messed it up, how am I gonna fix it? That's how you're gonna fix it. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world if you try to do something and it doesn't look right. Just keep going with it. I mean, you guys, it takes time to get good at this stuff. You have to imagine people go to school to learn these programs. It's not like overnight you're going to be a genius with it. So, but that's just kind of one of the ways that I do some modeling for building stuff like that. Let's do some rail ledge stuff. Show you guys that kind of stuff. Well, actually, we'll do like a couple quarter pipe thingies and stuff. So with quarter pipes, they're actually really easy to make if you just, you know, bring in a plane. Drag one end of the plane up, extrude it up, kind of keep them even just because it works out better, and definitely use your character for size referencing. As always, guys, if you don't use it, I guarantee you're going to go into your map and be like, why is my quarter pipe 20 feet up in the air like this? This looks retarded. And you really need to use your guy for scaling. He's the only thing I think that's really meant to scale with is him, so just definitely use them. But you'll click that inner edge, you'll just control B, which will bevel, and then you got your bevel. You can, you know, make a ramp, you can make quarter pipe as much of a quarter pipe as you want. My preference is I kind of like doing 5. And then for some reason when you do this, when you have all the faces selected, just move them a little bit and you'll see there's always a top and bottom double face. And if you don't do this, you'll have a double line on the top and bottom. So I usually delete them, and then, I mean, you can move it anywhere you want from there. So if you want it at the edge, just move it to the edge. The way I do that snapping, by the way, if you haven't seen my older videos, is come up here and click this and change it to vertex, so that when you hit G and you're moving something, if you hold control and then you move your mouse over a vertex, it'll snap it to that vertex. That's a really good tool to know and use. So if you don't, just remember that, because that's hella helpful. So then another thing I like to do is I don't like how the quarter pipes come out, so I always bring that in more, and then this one like that, to give it a little, you know, depending on how steep you want it. You can, I like to have mine more where kind of like I guess like a mini in a way, to where it doesn't have much launch to it and it has more like ride to it. But and then you can do a few things. You can just go like this and make faces, and then extrude this out like that. That way you can separate, you know, stuff. Or you could go straight out from this and extrude outward, extrude down, and do the same thing, and therefore making the whole thing at one time. And then you can just drag it out. And then always just right click it, shade smooth, come down here to your little, what is this, object data property, normals, and click that auto smooth on, and you'll have a nice smooth ramp. So that's how I do quarter pipes. And then when you do it this way too, it's a little better, because when you do it the other way, you have to readjust the sides if you want to fix the faces. But this way, you can still adjust this as much as you want. So that's a good way with ramps. If you want to add an extension on something, you could just Control R, makes loop cuts, and it'll make cuts. Just know if your geometry is messed up, cutting is going to be kind of iffy with certain objects and stuff. But with quarter pipes, you can do a quick little loop cut like that, and then another little loop cut this way, and then you can just extrude this face, you know, straight up using Z. Make sure when you hit G too, you use Z, X, and Y to move stuff, or else your part will be off. Like if you're trying to have something straight, it won't be straight. Because like this, like right now, I don't have anything. If I do it, it ended up to the side, it ended up all the way back there, it messed it up. So you want to go up and then over, if that's how you're trying to do it, to get a nice smooth transition with stuff. And then you can even click these and say you want it straight up and down. You just hit S, and then I think it's Y. Yeah, Y. So you want to do the directions. So if you hit S0, and then it's either going to be Z, X, or Y, which in this case it's Y. But yep. And then you could always extrude this out further. You know, I mean, the creativity is really up to you guys. And then what I like doing with stuff is I don't like the straight edging on blocky stuff. So I like to bevel on a lot of stuff. So I like to do stuff like this and bevel it out a little bit, just so it has more of a rounded edge. And then even if I have to reface that, no, that'll still work fine. Yeah. Oh no, I'd have to bevel all the way. That's right. Hold on. See, even I'm not the best at everything all the time. There we go. To give it a nice little edge. I don't know why. Oh, I missed this piece. You want to make sure you have like a unison bevel when you do beveling, because as you saw, it like morphs on pieces that aren't beveling. Like this, I can bevel almost all the way. Another thing is when you do like beveling like this, if you push M while you're trying to bevel, it'll change the bevel, and eventually you'll get to the bevel where you can't go any further, like this. And that's pretty much like the farthest that you can make the shape, kind of thing. I'll show you with quarter pipe. It's a little different. Yeah, that looks better. But so there's that. When it comes to rails, I like using planes, because with planes I can do more. I basically your height for a rail is 0.6, okay? So you want a GZ 0.6 off the ground. This isn't what you want everything, obviously. You can make anything you want, but if you're trying to do like a handrail, stuff like that, this is gonna be around what your waist would be in game. When you bend down, this is about your pop height for realistic stats. that is something else. I make parks for realistic. I don't make XL parks for like console XL physics. Obviously, in my parks, you'd be flying over everything. You'd be ollie and jump from one end to the other. So these are made for more realistic stuff. But so 0.6 is more appropriate. But you could always, you know, raise it up a little more, raise it down, change it however you want it. It's totally up to you. But that's why I like using planes, because with the planes, I can control the angle I want to do the rail. If I want it steep, if I want this, that, I can double rail it. But one of the ways, you know, to do it is like this. Loop cut it in the middle or something, but then you want to delete the bottom. Separate the middle so it's not part of the rail. Grab your edges and Control Shift B to get your edges. See how they bevel weird like that? What you want to do is tab out so you're in object mode. Click your rail. This is very important. Control A, go to all transforms. Now that reset the size of this object. So now when you go to do your bevel, look at those clean curves you have at the edge. So it gives you a lot better of a curve and edge. And then you do it again before you do your curve. But so yeah, this is just your your basic rail. I'm not even gonna do the middle, just there. So that's just like your basic rail. I guess when you want to get to like creativeness, or you're trying to figure out different ways to do stuff, I mean, when you do rails, another thing you can do is be like this. Bring in you can bring in cubes and kind of make a square rail if you want, you know, stuff like that. That you can get really creative with square rails. Again, I'm just going over this kind of stuff because a lot of people have asked me for ideas with modeling, and I'm pretty much just giving you guys what I got. But I mean, you can do that and put some legs. You could do stuff like this where you make a ledge on it instead. You know, anything and everything you could think of. Another thing I like to do is when I have stuff like this, like a nice ledge like this. Oh, sorry. You got a nice ledge like this. I like to bevel my stuff. I feel like it looks so much cleaner and better. So I'll take this and I'll make it a little bit bigger than the bottom ledge that it's on. Just a little bit bigger. And then I'll bevel this top one. I'll come up here to the wrench, which is your modifiers. Go to your modifiers and go to bevel. When you do the bevel, it's gonna look, I mean, you could do that. That looks kind of cool, actually. That looks like a weird wonky ledge, but it looks cool. I have preferences I kind of like. I like putting the amount to around 3 or 4, and then bringing the segments up to anywhere from 4 to 6. And that's just kind of the way I like it. It looks good with concrete and stuff, so that's just how I have it. And then I like to bevel the bottoms too and make those look alright. And then the only thing you have to do is when you do the bevel, it's gonna obviously make a little gap, so you want to bring that back down and then shade them smooth. So yeah, I mean, that's one quick way to do little ledges with like tops on them, stuff like that. You can get, so if you want to, say you want to make a design in this, there's a couple things you can do. Say you want to make a design that's actually through this, like say this is a wood box and you want like rails in here or something. I'm going to show you an easy way you can do this. So you're going to make a loop cut, make another loop cut, and you're going to make your window where you want your rails at. Okay, and you're just going to delete that face, delete the back one, face all your insides so it's closed off again. Okay, so now you got that, you made your hole there, perfect. So now let's say you want to put the rails. You're like, I want to put some little square railings inside of here or something. You can literally make your rail how you want it, and then come over here to the wrench again, to the modifiers, and go to array modifier. This is the same modifier you use for stairs, and yeah, there we go. Yep, and then you can change the spacing and change the number you want. Boom, then just hit accept. Bam, you just put some rails inside your ledge. I mean, what happens is a lot of people don't know like modifiers. There's tons of tutorial videos on like all of these at one time, and these do a lot of stuff, and I don't even know them all. I couldn't even tell you all of them, but they do a lot of stuff. So definitely, if you're not sure with modifiers, play with them, learn. I'll tell you right now, decimate will mess stuff up. So like if you want to decimate this thing, you want to shift D, copy it, and then decimate your copy first to make sure that's really what you want to do, and then you can come and delete this and replace it. But once you do decimate modifier on something, you cannot control Z back. So decimate's final, and I think there's another one like that, but I don't remember. Stuff like cloth and collision, dynamic pane, explode, fluid, ocean, that's all going to be physics stuff. Particle system, particle instance, all of that, I would use this stuff more in Unity. I wouldn't worry about it in Blender. If you want to do a particle system or something, learn how to do it in Unity, because that's where you're going to actually use your physical stuff. You should look at Blender as just your modeling for the most part. You can do your texturing too, it's perfectly fine. I love doing my texturing in Blender, it's just so much easier and faster for me. But the main ones you'll use: array, bevel, boolean. That's how. So if I wanted to make this window inside of this ledge, here, we'll just do one underneath. So say I want to make this pole here make a hole through here. Okay, so to do that, what you do is you click this ledge. This is 3 and that's 1. So you click the ledge that you want to put a hole in, you go to Boolean modifier, you click this object, and you're going to change it to this one that you want to go through. Difference, hit apply, and now you'll see it cut a hole through it. Okay, but the kicker to that is, say you didn't apply it yet, so the hole's not there yet. Okay, you can also, wait, where'd my modifier go? Okay, there's the boolean. You can also add, say, an array. Oh no, I'm sorry. You can add an array modifier to this and do there we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry. You could do an array modifier like that, and then you can accept that array modifier, come back to this, accept that boolean, and now when you take these guys out, you're going to have holes through it. So it's as easy as that. I did have somebody that was just working on a floor, and I kind of want to show you what I was telling them, and that is, so they have like a plaza plane, and they want to have a circle design here. It's a different color brick. So I told them they could make a circle, decide where it's going to be at, you know, because of the texture, and all they have to do is extrude it up, bring it through, and then just face each side and do a boolean, and that's it. And they can literally make their plaza circle. So what I was showing them, because you can do this, and then if you try to have this even with your ground, it's going to give you that. You're going to have material clipping, you're going to have two different clippings. So when you put it through like this, and you do the boolean, and now, okay, why didn't it? The plane difference circle, yeah, why isn't it? Oh, I know what I did wrong, sorry, hold on. So you don't want to do a circle. Yeah, that's what I meant. You don't want to do a circle. You want to do a cylinder. So make the cylinder the size that you want, you know, through the hole. Okay. Then when you do your booling, if this doesn't work, I think I know what's wrong. Why it's not. But it should. Okay. So your floor has to be three-dimensional, I believe, like that. So you have to, like, actually have a layer to your floor, if you know what I mean. Kind of like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, once you have the, like, a layer to it. There we go. That was the issue. So now you can delete that, and he has, like, you'll have your hole here that you need for your texture. Now you can just click it and alt-click the top edge on both sides and make a face. And now you can texture this separately, but it's even with the rest of the plane. So that'll be pretty helpful for people that are trying to do designing. Another thing you could do is hit, you know, K, pull out the knife tool, and you could, I'm just doing this quick, I'm not really trying to make a design, but you could, you know, make out whatever you want. Oh, I messed that up, sorry guys. But you can cut it out and make whatever you want kind of shapes. And once you do that, you can separate this and make this whatever you want, or you can keep it together and texture it as you can slap multiple textures on. I'm pretty sure I've showed you guys that on different things. So you can make this yellow, this green, this blue, all the same on the same set. So, you know, you'd be like, this would be middle, and then you just make sure you select it and assign the middle to that, and then when you click this, and you'll just be like add and ray, I don't know, and just assign that one, and you can do different textures but all under the same. I'm pretty sure we've gone over that in other videos, but I'm trying to think. With rails, another thing is you do stuff like this. Shift D, copy this down, bring it down. Then I like to click the top, extrude, and just bring it out a little bit. Bring it down. Same thing over here. Oh. And then you want to get rid of these two. So that's by itself. Now you could take these edges, bevel those. Now when you go to convert, you bring it to curve. Now you got one of those kind of rails that has the nice rounded edges on each side, stuff like that. And then you always want to shade smooth, make it look nice, baby smooth. But yeah, so I hope this helps some people kind of learn a couple new little things. I wasn't trying to make a super long video, even though this is a half-hour video. But I just kind of wanted to give some more ideas on a couple tools you could use to help with modeling, because I know a lot of people are stuck on modeling. And I'm pretty sure the next few videos I'm going to be going over the particle system in Unity. And man, there was something else that was really big that people were asking me for. I'll have to go back through all my DMs, but there's something else that a lot of people were asking me for, so I'll go over that too, and then we'll take it from there. I'll get into some more advanced stuff later on, but for the most part, I don't really think it's necessary to sit here and film a long video of just straight modeling stuff. I think showing you something like this, giving you a couple tools like cutting holes and array tools and stuff, should give you a better idea on how to make some models and stuff. But hopefully you guys can figure it out, and hopefully stuff like this with the boolean is, you know, helpful. And yeah, till the next one, hope you guys have a good one. Peace.